I skipped all 3 of these next ones.
Oh, I was so excited. I was like, Tremors 5? Fuck it. Sign me up.
I skipped
wholesale.
because 4 just was like such a meh.
Yeah.
And I was just like, direct to video again. I'm like, nah. Jamie Kennedy. I like Jamie Kennedy, but
I can't stand Jamie Kennedy.
No. This is before. I'm saying what happened before I watched it.
Yeah.
Last week, or more, actually this weekend, I binged all 3 of them, and Bloodlines was okay.
I think it's good.
It was way better than I thought it would be.
That it has.
I don't know. How do you feel about that?
True.
Like, I was expecting it to be shit.
It was another middle of the road. This was fine and fun.
Yeah.
Better than I anticipated. Not great, but better than I anticipated.
Apparently, it was, according to Jamie Kennedy on his YouTube channel, like, he has a whole video out right now about why he's not in the last movie. And it's like contract negotiation stuff. But
he's mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. But he talked about how, like, this one almost went like theatrical, probably not a wide release.
No.
But I guess Universal are still doing their direct-to-video stuff. They wanted to, and keep in mind, this comes out after Jurassic World. So Universal, on like their A-list theatrical stuff, they're reinvigorating the Jurassic Park franchise, and I bet they went, what else do we have? Oh, we have Tremors. That works well in direct-to-video. Let's bring that back too.
Because they kind of did it at the same thing for Tremors 2. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, Tremors 2 was definitely cashing in on the success of Jurassic Park, plus Lost World was coming out a year after that one.
So it makes sense for them
So,
to all lined up.
The plot in this one basically is Bert, he's a survivalist.
He's got a TV show.
He's got a TV
I
show.
kind of love that. He's like that Bear Grylls
Yeah.
type
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
But I guess his star is kind of fading, and he meets Jamie Kennedy's character, Travis, who wants to reinvigorate his career. And they find out that in South Africa, there is a graboid problem.
It's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, to which Bert, like, is initially hesitant. He's like, what? Graboids? They're only in North America.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, not really. So they go
Just like in Resident Evil 5.
So they go to South Africa.
That's what I kept thinking of. I think it was around the same time.
So him and the Travis character, they go to South Africa and they have to deal with these graboids. But much like any other animal, it's a different species of graboids, so they are not prepared for it.
And they're bigger.
They are bigger. They actually say we will. All right.
They look cool.
The CGI in this, again, looks
Better than 3.
Looks way better than I thought it would. So the only thing I've seen of these 3 before this was a few years back. I was at a Nexus house and they had like part 6 on.
The Cold Day in Hell.
Yes,
which we'll get to.
We'll get to. But I remember just watching a scene of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, these graboids look like decent CGI.
Oh,
like Game of Thrones, maybe not Game of Thrones, but like a bigger show CGI, not like direct, not like network TV CGI. And in this one, I really like the look of the graboids in this.
I think they look cool, and they have like this kind of more exotic look to them.
Yes.
And almost like this more primal kind of look to them.
They're in a very different climate. They do new things. Their tongues actually separate from their mouth.
That was actually cool.
It's fucking neat.
That was cool. There are no shrieker forms, but there is an ass blaster.
Yeah, there's a bipedal form though.
No, it's just it literally goes from graboid to ass blaster.
Yeah, but it's bipedal.
Yeah, well, it's bipedal, sure. I mean, so is the other ass blaster.
Yeah, but they look like more of a mix though, and they're like green, if I recall.
Yeah. But because at one point he's talking about the differences between them. He's like, where the hell are the shriekers?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
That's funny too.
And look, it's definitely lower budget. I could definitely see where they cut corners.
This and the next one, heavy duty, look like a sci-fi original.
There's a lot of
they still look good.
There's a lot
this
of
one looks great.
There's a lot of like they're showing from the actual camera's point of view. Security cams. I do love at one point the bad guy puts him in the cage to like make him
to like
crazy.
fuck with him, and he's like drinking his own piss. He's like, I guess it's an acquired taste.
My favorite thing. So you found out in part 2 that his gun, the HK1 or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the 140 or whatever.
Yeah. Reba McEntire got it. And at one point, he's like, when he's going crazy, he looks in the camera. He talks to her in the camera, and he's like,
"Give the HK-41 a good home. I miss it, and to some extent, you."
Well, that second movie, he's all broken up, but then after that, it's like almost played off as as a goof.
It's a good, it's a good gag.
Yeah, and we got the whole African village there, and they're trying to deal with it too.
The bad guy or one of the bad guys is the bad guy from Chappie.
Okay.
That's my robot.
Oh, yeah.
With the fucking gold gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun time. I'm not too sold on the Ass Blaster design, but then again, I'm not crazy about the original Ass Blaster design.
Fair.
So
No,
I think it's
it just looks a little too different.
Agreed. But for Tremors 5,
Yes.
Right.
direct to fucking Netflix or whatever it was,
yes, it premiered on Netflix.
it looks better than it has any right to.
Yeah,
The
and it is a fun
cinematography's
time.
good. It's on location. The CG's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy's fine.
Jamie Kennedy,
Surprisingly so, he is
Yeah.
fine.
the plan was for him to take over the series because Michael
That's right,
Gross
yeah,
is
yeah.
like what? He's like 70s. He's like he's getting
Getting
up there.
I don't know if I needed that, but
And we talked about this before. Like I make fun of the geriatric actors trying to cling on to their action hero youth,
Right.
and it's
Harrison
just embarrassing.
Wow.
I don't get how is anyone excited for the new Indiana Jones?
I'm not.
Who the fuck wants to see a frail Harrison Ford just limping around?
Did they see the last one when he was already like in his 60s?
Did they
Did we see Force
Did
Awakens?
they see Force Awakens where he's like, like it's embarrassing. And Michael Keaton is Batman again.
Well, that movie's never coming out.
That movie's never, but it's gonna be fucking cringe.
The only way to do that is the Batman Beyond thing, but
no, because no one wants to grow up, so they want to see Michael Keaton kicking ass. It's like, yeah, but it makes sense in Spider-Man where his wingsuit does most of the action. It doesn't make sense that this 80-something-year-old guy is going around punching people.
Spider-Man is also a superhuman.
Well,
no, but I'm saying the Vulture.
Oh, and the Vulture,
Sure.
yeah, because he's got the machine.
Yes, that makes sense for that. Like,
Yeah.
I like Michael, but when I looked at Michael Keaton in the Batsuit, I'm like, this is sad.
What about Michael Keaton in the Batsuit versus a Tremor? Or Graboid or whatever you want
What
to call
about
it.
Michael Keaton Beetlejuice?
He would cook in the sun because Michael Keaton's Batsuit was super thick rubber.
Just be on the ground. Someone get me out of this.
Old Michael Keaton Beetlejuice versus a Graboid.
But because
Sandworms, am I right?
because Bert is never really like he's a gun guy, so it kind of makes
Yeah.
sense for his character to still be there because he's not going around punching. He does some ridiculous stuff.
He's still susceptible, though.
Yeah, but that's why they bring in Jamie Kennedy's like 40, but they bring in like a younger-ish guy.
He can still throw it around.
He can.
I mean,
Although that's definitely not him on the motorcycle at the beginning.
Well, I mean, they get stuck on rocks again. That's like a theme throughout this series.
Yeah.
Getting stuck on rocks for like 20 minutes of the film.
Yes.
Well, to
I left
deliver
my radio
exposition.
on the top of my car.
Yeah.
Whoops. They go fishing for it at one point.
I didn't know how I was going to feel about Jamie Kennedy being his actual son. You find out that Burt Gummer had a one-night stand with a real liberal girl in like the 70s or something.
Yeah, it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it didn't-
this October 1974.
It didn't annoy me as much as other movies do. When
thought
they
it was
pull out
fine.
the secret kid thing, I'm like, okay.
Because it's Tremors. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's fine. Like, I don't
No.
have a problem with it. I don't know.
Even the characters in the movie are kind of just like, really? Okay.
Whatever.
Also, I
guess.
do love that Jamie Kennedy's kind of like, he's basically just picking apart the plot as it's going on. He's
Yeah.
like, this could be your moment, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, the bloodline. He's like describing what's happening in the film as you're watching it. And I really like the end where they all get together to figure out how to kill the Graboid and they come up with that plan to like electrocute the ground.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
cool, blow
that
it
was
up.
cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, it at times can look cheap, probably unneeded, but Bert is still really, really fun. I love the idea of like, hey, let's explore graboids on different continents because they
Yes.
probably are different. Because I mean, any animal looks different on each continent.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at them. There's,
Like a deer versus an antelope.
Like,
Yes,
like
exactly.
if they were in the
Or white-tailed deer, rather.
Arctic, they would look different, right?
well,
Right?
not when you have to save on CGI models.
Like shooting in the, we'll
which,
talk about
which
it.
we should probably get to now.
Anyway, Tremors 5 is
it's pretty
a
good.
welcome
Yeah.
sweet sequel
Yeah.
to the series, and then I'm good.
Tremors 6. Did they take the? Oh, this is when they took the numbers off.
Yeah.
After there's like that thing with like movies, after a certain number, they're like, we should probably take the numbers off. This is embarrassing. Tremors, a cold day in hell.